I never had faith in school, but I always had faith in people. So when I was sent off to boarding school at the age of 7, I cradled my tears, afraid of what lay ahead. I somehow found courage in the million expressions and emotions playing and displaying across the faces of strangers, peers who would later become besties. That was my first lesson in learning. The art of learning often begins the moment you realize you were not alone. I never knew where education would lead, but I always knew I would come out a leader. Fast forward 18 years later, I see through educational lenses. I have learned about cultures and governments, systems and policies, poetry and precision. I have learned which words work and which equations don't, minus the fact that I became an intellectual genius or rhetorical mystic. I have learned that education is not just information, it is formation. Values entrenched in the DNA of women and men, guided by purpose in classrooms across time and geography. Teachers poured quietly into us, not in floods, but in small, patient sips, wisdom that welled up long after the lesson ended. It taught us that understanding does not hide quietly in textbooks. It lives in the world, whispering through art and science, through faith and reason, through everything shaped by God and human hands. What we drink from them does not stop with us. It travels into conversations, into convictions, into the lives of others who would never meet our teachers, but would feel their impact. We learned to name injustice, to honor dignity, to recognize excellence flowing through our veins. We raised our voices for the women of Owu and now stand at the forefront of women empowerment. Education taught us that silence is never neutral, and knowledge carries responsibility. Today, as the world balances on the edge of new technologies and unfamiliar futures, education remains our most human instrument, not to replace thought, but to train it, not to erase values, but to anchor them, so that as we design what comes next, we do not forget ourselves. Because education is not what we store in memory, it is what shapes our identity. It shapes our judgment, our courage, and our care for one another. It decides who we become and who we choose to see. Education was never just about books. It has always been about lives, written, interrupted, and carried forward between the lines.